It's a new day. We've hit a bit of a snag. We've gone over budget, we've missed our deadline, and we've had scope creep. Let me show you why. Coming down to here, this is the lower control arm, this is the rotor. That's bad. We can't have that. And I'm terrified of that spring. The only fix I can think of means we're going tubular. Due to the significant scope creep, this ain't enough parts, and we're not gonna be able to use that spindle. We have to dismantle everything we've done here. Upper, lower control arm, sway bar, get the spring out of the way, get the shock out of the way. Both sides. The Lego kit for this project, you know, this is supposed to be a weekend project. Spindles, calipers, rotors, bleed the brakes, call it a day. Did that happen? No, but that's okay. Big old rainstorm coming through right now. But we haven't even tried anything on the passenger side, but we did get our additional parts to correct the problem. This is the lower control arm, and if you notice how close that ball joint is to that cup, clearance issue is going to be solved. This is definitely Plan C territory for me. They tend to be a little infamous, and I'll tell you more about Plan C's later on, but let's continue. I didn't realize when we started this project that we were going to be converting the truck to coilovers and doing upper and lower control arms and sway bars, all while trying to do big brakes. Also means we're going to be doing an alignment and a few other things. But I need to get to work because our list that I made of things to do, completely out the window. We just put a whole lot more things on it, and that thing buried underneath all that stuff might as well be a useless piece of cardboard. So we need to make a new list, prioritize what we need to get done, get started. I'm gonna start by tearing that apart, and then we'll get the other side torn apart because we have to have a clean slate. We might get the plasma cutter out and do some cutting today. So let's get busy. By the way, this is a single adjustable QA1 shock for the stock height for the C10. These things rock. Like, I was really hoping we could continue to use these because this truck did not handle bad with these. These are a great upgrade. They're no adjustability, but whatever their valve tuning is in them, I really like these. I'm really sad to take these off. I know we're going to double adjustable, which means we can control rebound and we can control the rebound and compression, the two settings. But thumbs up for these. These things rule. We'll use these again on other things because, yeah. If you've never seen one of these before, these are called castle nuts. And what they are is basically they look like a castle or a turret of a tower. And they have a cotter pin that goes through them. That cotter pin keeps this from ever coming undone. I gotta get these cotter pins out and then I can loosen up these bolts. Like, the two-piece rotors and hats, they're safety wires. These are cotter pins because they're on the suspension. You'll see them all over the place, like right here, over there. So they're really important. They keep you from not dying. Let's work on getting them out because those cotter pins, they always take a second to get out. I don't have a little specialty hook tool I could beat on to pull them out. So screwdriver, needle nose, and patience. What we're gonna do now is literally defuse a bomb. That big spring will unalive me really fast. I'm gonna take this castle nut off, hit this a couple of times to make sure it gets loose. Then we're gonna lower the jack down. Let's give this the bang. See how much tension and pressure is in that? We need to get that supported now. Give it a little love. There you go. Take the bolts out very carefully. There's a lot of pressure under that. Now I'm gonna go hide behind the jack. I'm not a chicken. This is where you need a trusty jack. I need both hands. I wanna control how much pressure the jack has when this comes down. So this is where you need a trusty jack because this is dangerous. Very slowly. Take the other nut off. A little bit more. Fingers, toes, everyone out the way. Down it goes. We didn't die. Make no mistake. This thing will ruin your day. Do not play around with this. Be careful. Just give you an idea. That thing is heavy. All right, now we gotta get the lower control arms and sway bar out of the way. To get the lower control arm out, I gotta remove these two U-bolts. Now, these have already been enlarged for like the literally 71 to 86 style U-bolts. These are a little bit bigger than the ones that came from 67 to 69, but gonna have to use some swivelly head ratchets, and I'm gonna be here a while because they're tucked in there. See you on the other side. But what we're trying to do is get that bolt out, and then we'll work on that one over there too. But it's not an easy feat. Follow me down without banging my head. See where I've got the ratchet just kind of caddied up in there, and I'm working around all the things. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing this a while. So see y'all in a little bit. Stay. Don't fall. Don't fall on my head. Stay up there. Good old rainy work day. Hello, Supra. We need you for a sandwich soon. Anyway, we have been making progress. There's a big pile of bolts there. There's a big pile of suspension over there. I got one more bolt to get out of that top hat, and we'll see if we can get in there and get that one out. And we'll repeat the same process on the other side. Sway bar's out of the way now too. It's official. All the bolts are out on the driver's side. We're about to up the violence. Flat disc, air chisel, and if it really doesn't play nice, plasma cutter, because we got to get 4 rivets out. Let's do this. Big progress. Ear pro, eye pro, because this thing does not care. Use a chisel, knock them off. Use a punch them out. Done. This is actually in really good shape. I'm really happy with that, and that is out of the way. Wish my air compressor would keep up, but anywho, next. In the instructions, I think we've got to elongate this hole and cut a hole in the top of the K member. But this needs to live. Yeah. Let me get that out of the way. Oh yes, we're gonna have to put a big hole in this thing. We gotta take that hump out of this. Lining up with the rivets. We're gonna have a lot to take out of this. Me and the grinder have got some work to do because I have to have this completely level for that to fit. This is what was the spring pocket on the other side, so it's not level. The spring would sit up in this and this kind of like let it sit. So I've got to figure out how to put a big hole in that. Something says plasma. We're gonna try something completely different. Instead of plugging the plasma cutter into my 15 amp circuit in the garage, I'm gonna plug it into this EcoFlow box. And I wanna see what this thing can and can't do, because I've been wondering if I could use it as a welding station out in the middle of the field without lugging a gas welder around. So we're gonna try with a plasma cutter. I think about 20 amps will get through this metal, and we'll find out. Let's make some sparks. By the way, precaution, fire extinguisher, big bucket of water. This is dangerous. Be careful if you're using these kind of tools. Try not to burn the house down. Let's go. I'm gonna lie, this little Eastwood, even on 110 with that EcoFlow, it did a good job. I'm pretty happy with that. Here's the result after a little cleanup. And if you want to see our plate here, woo, big progress today. Yeah, I think a coilover will fit right in here real good. I'm happy about that. That's good progress. Back to work. Something I want to show you guys before I put it away. This is called a desiccant snake. And what it does is it's full of desiccant beads that absorb water. And when you have it between the plasma cutter and your air supply line, it prevents the water from getting into the plasma cutter, which prevents steam pockets from coming out and throwing sparks all in your face. These little desiccant snakes, they are freaking awesome. And if you work in the field where you have to do painting or you have to do plasma cutting, these little things can make your day just a little bit better. I'm really impressed with the little Eastwood VersaCut. Even on 110, I did give it 27 amps. And I didn't push much more than that because I figured it would pop the breaker in that EcoFlow battery box there. But it did really good. I was able to cut that. I didn't have to take a grinder and fight the sparks inside the wheel well. And if you notice, the inner fender is still in. That's a big deal if anybody's done this. They know normally you have to take the inner fender out to do this. We've gotten a lot done today. Got the sway bar off, got one whole driver's side done, a big pile of bolts. Got it painted, got the hole cut with the plasma cutter. That's now ready for that bracket as soon as that paint's dry. I just want to show you the contrast. Over on the passenger side, we're still D52 and bare over here, but this will be tomorrow because I'm out of time. I need to get cleaned up. Plasma cutter did good. The air compressor did good. Didn't pop any breakers, didn't burn the house down. We're gonna take these all as wins and do some more tomorrow. We'll see y'all then. I need to go get cleaned up and get a sandwich. So since this simple brake job of just spindles, calipers, rotors, and hubs was supposed to just be a weekend project, and since we had a little contact between the lower control arm and that rotor, we couldn't have that. This piece right here is a stamped piece of steel. I do not want to weaken it, so instead of weakening it, let's just go to tubular control arms. There's a lot more room, and I get a lot of benefits. One of the biggest being is see this shock that used to be out here way off? This only had so much command authority over this lower control arm, because the more oblique you make the angle, the less command authority it has. The more perpendicular you make it to the piece, the more command authority you have. I also get to repackage the spring down to a coil spring. This is a double adjustable 850 pound per inch coilover, and because it'll have better geometry inside those A-arms, we should have a better ride. I'm really looking forward to that. That should be really nice. The tubular control arms are definitely lighter and stronger, so this is a major upgrade. The next drive in the truck will be really good, I hope, after I do an alignment and do all the calibration stuff, which has to be done, because yeah, my alignment out the window. Something else I want to point out, I have to change the spindles again. I was gonna run the 71 to 72 CPP drop spindles to match the upper and lower ball joints that I had. Can't do that anymore. I'm switching over to Willwoods. Now these are nice spindles. They're already coated. I didn't have to do anything to them. This is how they came out of the box. They're really nice. Willwood, good job. These are for the 73 to 86 C10, and they look nice. But cheat code for any of y'all getting into the C10 game. If you have a 73 or even a 63 to 72, just go ahead and upgrade to the 73 to 86 ball joints, inner and outer tire rods, and spindles. So if you ever want to upgrade to like QA1, you can just move your spindles over with your brakes and you don't have to fool with any of this extraness. Cheat code, remember that. We also can't use the stock sway bar anymore. So we're going thicker, bigger, lighter. So this is a hollow sway bar versus a solid sway bar. This is much stiffer, much bigger diameter. Should make a big difference. So everything is lighter, stronger, and just spiffier. We also were about to have a modern geometry. So instead of like, I forget what it's called, where basically the spindle is directly perpendicular to the ground, we're gonna have a slight cant backwards and a cant in. So when we let go of the steering wheel, when we go, let's say, turn it to the right and lock it, and we let go of it, it should return to center pretty quickly like the modern vehicles. That's gonna be cool. What else is there? A lot of work. So I need to get back to work. I'm stuck waiting on the thrust bearings for the coilovers, and I'll probably need some alignment shims too. So I was gonna save this side and do a compare and contrast, but I think I'm gonna get busy and get this side ripped apart too. Another reason, if you're a 67 to 70, they had 7/16" U-bolts that held the control arms on, and I think it was 70 or 71, they went to the 9/16 bolts. These are much more substantial, and considering they hold the entire weight of the vehicle, not a bad thing to upgrade these. They don't even sell the 7/16 anymore for safety. There's a reason. And if you have to, just get a drill them out. 9/16, done. Big upgrade, good upgrade, worth doing. Big progress. Upper lower control arms are out of the way. We're gonna work on this hat. We got 4 bolts that we need to get some wire brush action and some PB blaster on, and then we might be able to get this out of the way, and then we'll knock the rivets out and see how far we can get. Let's keep going, we're doing good. Big progress today. Passenger side completely stripped down, minus the bracket on the top of the K-member. There's one bolt still stuck in there, but I'm not gonna break it off. I'm gonna let it soak in penetrating oil because we gotta go to an appointment, and we will see you guys in a little while. More tomorrow. Something that's been holding me up just arrived. I'm pretty excited about it, because now we can put these springs together and it'll be kind of like in its final boss form. So normally you have, dismantle it all real quick. You have a lock collar at the bottom, you have an adjuster sleeve that goes up and down on the threads, and then you have like a thrust bearing. In this case, it was a metal on metal, just a plain washer. I am gonna upgrade that to a washer, a thrust bearing, because we're gonna have a very heavy truck on this, and this will make the adjustment creme de la creme. If you have a heavy vehicle or a lot of travel and that spring's really tight, thrust bearing. Then we'll put another washer on top. Put the appropriate amount of anti-seize on it. Put our spring back on with the Made USA on the outside, because QA1. Put our hat back on, and then we will tighten this all back up. And now this will be ready to go in the truck. And when I go to adjust this, it should be creme de la creme and not bindy and tight. Like, that little upgrade, worth it, especially when you get a lot of pressure on these springs. Back to work. Big steps forward here. We gotta tighten up a few things, but that's fully stacked. I am happy to report, I think we solved that clearance problem. And we got lots of room up top too. But this right here, ooh, that's money. Let's get the caliper on this thing. Let's actually see if we can spin it and articulate it. Ooh, those run nice and true too. Moment of truth. Let's see if this guy goes in. Probably be easier if I took the pads out, but this is actually a very tight tolerance because it's made really well. There we go. There we go. What I'm looking at is the way the pad is sitting inside that caliper, and I need it to come more out. So I'm gonna put a couple more spacers on these two, and we should be ready to go. That is very exciting. Pull that back off. Got our spacer collection over here. I had to open the door for the good light because that is a lot of really good stuff. And we ain't got to even remotely worry about clearance now for that ball joint. It's a new day. I'm really motivated because I got this mocked up last night. But this is a long haul job. Suspension, we got to do a whole nother side. We got one more bolt in that bracket we need to get out, and then we got to bust those rivets off, cut a hole with the plasma cutter. Yeah, so time to go to work. Let's find out how much this one's gonna hurt us. Okay. It's clear to me that that entire thing's got to go. It's gonna be a lot to cut out of. All right, out of the 8 bolt holes, I've only got one that needs massaging, and I got a drill bit already in the drill for it. But everything else, I think we're in really good shape. I don't think I cut this one as pretty as I did on the driver's side, but it'll work. So I need to elongate that hole. And other than that, this needs a coat of paint. So I'm gonna come in here, touch this up with some paint, and then I'll actually mount this. It's so close. But yeah, this will mount up really nice. And it'll be just like the driver's side. Let's take a look at the driver's side. And when I say, wow. But the best part is this is a bilateral system. Let's get the sway bar on it here soon. We'll do that tomorrow. This is good progress for the day. Sway bar, next. It's a new day, and if you're looking at the bed of the truck, it's getting pretty empty. That means we've made a lot of progress. I forgot to hit record on putting the sway bar on, but that's okay. The only thing left on this entire installation of the parts is we need to put a set of the braided steel brake lines between the frame and the calipers, and then we can get them bled. And then we're at the point where we need to set the truck on the ground and start working on the alignment. And I also need to make sure I go through and grease the spherical bearings on the end of the sway bar links. And I need to go through all the Zerk fittings on the suspension now and make sure they're greased and ready to go. So we're on our way to getting this thing off jack stand, so let's get busy. We're at the point where we need to take the brake line from the frame to the back of the caliper. We can get rid of this sticker because it's time to install something. The Willwood kit came with this MPT to AN3 adapter. It's really nice. We need to put some thread sealant on these threads that go into the back of the caliper. These are MPT, they seal on the threads, and specifically, we need some high temp thread sealant. I'm gonna use the Permatex stuff, and the reason I call out the high temp stuff is they do make thread sealant in a non-high temp version, and using the right stuff will prevent you leaks in the future, just FYI. These are actually really nice braided lines. An advantage to having the braided lines versus the rubber ones, these will not balloon. No matter what they do, because they've got that steel core, no ballooning. It has the adapter to go from the inverted flare up at the top with a clip to the AN3 to an AN3, and then we just simply hook up the line in between. So let's get that done. I bring up that thread sealant because now that I just have the two AN fittings, I can leave these dry. They do not require thread sealant. They'll seal directly on that flange, which is at 37 degrees. And these should just spin right up on these. And we'll tighten them up. And then we'll have this side done. And then we'll go do it over on the passenger side. All right, I have this all the way over right now too, also on the steering. So I wanna go ahead and take the steering real quick. I wanna go left, I wanna go right, and I wanna make sure there's no binding and this has plenty of room. It's not gonna interfere with the tire. So let's go ahead and do that. How it's looking, so you guys can see. I think that's gonna work out just fine. Ooh, these look sharp. Nothing in there's gonna bind, nothing in there's gonna catch and rip that brake line. So move on to the passenger side. Then we can put fluid in it. We are gonna use some Willwood brake fluid this time. This is not completely empty, but I know there'll be air in this line down past here. So I need to put fluid back in there. This is 500 milliliters and I just used 3/4 of it to top this thing off. I got two 500 milliliter things, so if you want to know about how much brake fluid you're gonna need, probably need a couple of these, maybe 3. So maybe 1500 milliliters, you say? This stuff says it's good. This is .4 brake fluid, and its minimum dry boiling point is 300 degrees Celsius or 572 degrees Fahrenheit. Minimum wet boiling point, 195 degrees Celsius or 383 degrees Celsius. Given that these are big brakes and they're gonna get hot, use really good brake fluid. I was gonna use some EBC, I think it was BF307. I'll look it up and put it in the thing, but since that wasn't in stock, we're gonna use Willwood's brake fluid. Should be good stuff. I've reshaped this thing. And I'm gonna put it over this without hopefully making a mess. This basically is a moisture seal to keep water from accumulating in your brakes. And I don't want to push that down because the fluid's right there, so we're going to stop right there. Something I do want to point out, see how I have 2 wrenches here? I have one holding the actual fitting and then one that opens and closes the valve. I have stripped one of these before, so I try to use 2 wrenches so I don't overdo it now. Don't over torque these, they are kind of small, but just be careful, use some good judgment, you'll be fine. But yeah, let's get these brakes bled. All right, I think we bled the brakes. We'll top this off one more time, but we have got a rock hard pedal. Because I mean now, there's nothing. And it's a really short travel too, so that's exciting. I guess now, we put tires back on it, we put it on the ground, we set ride height. Let's do that. Before I set this on the ground, I just want to look. Double wishbone suspension from the 60s to a double adjustable coilover with a Willwood Aero 6 brake kit on a 1969 C10. And I think it looks amazing. Let's get the tires on it. Guys, look how this thing fills the rim. I'll have to put a video of what the other one looked like, but all the clearance. Let's get this thing on the ground. Something we're gonna do is put some caster plates underneath of it. We're gonna need these. If you don't have these, order yourself 2 pizzas, eat the pizzas, take the boxes, cut the tops off, and put them on top of each other, and you can have your own cheap version of casters. Works real well. Even works on gravel, surprisingly. All right, let's get it off jack stands. I've been looking forward to this for a second. Number 1. Oh, it's almost time. Number 2. Are you ready? Here we go. Gently. We've made contact. Oh, oh baby. Oh baby. This is looking good. We'll do more tomorrow. It's a new day. Since we've got what we need to do is set the ride height, and I have a target now. I think I'm gonna set the target height of 28 inches for its ride height. That'll give it plenty of ground clearance for all the potholes and nastiness that is the road around where I live. And it'll still be low enough, it'll look really good. Now we'll throw the tire back on, lower it back down, see if we hit that 28. Now, with the target height of 28, it also means I'll have to adjust the passenger side, but I want to nail the driver's side, then go over the passenger side. Get it? Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate this look. Coilovers, big investment, cool investment, good investment. Give it a couple pushes. See where we landed. Aiming for 28. And we landed 27.5. All right, now this time, instead of taking the tire off, we're just gonna turn the tire, lay under the truck, and turn it a few more times because coilovers. And we noticed it wasn't hard to adjust. So let's do that. Raise truck back up. Out of curiosity, I wanted to see how hard this would be to adjust with the truck's weight on it. Let's see if we can raise the truck with one hand. No, we gotta lift that truck. She's a big truck. A very big truck. All right, we'll raise it back up. Experiment noted. I bet I could take it down though, if I ever wanted to lower it. This is experimenting. Come around to the hook side. Oh yeah, it'll go down. I don't know, you can kind of raise these. Put your hernia into it. They make a ratchet and wrench. It's an adjuster. Yeah, I might look into that. Let's see. Yeah, I can't do that. And I ain't gonna push my arm out of place. Raise the truck back up, adjust. Now let's see how we did. All the way to the concrete. Okay. That put us at 28th and an eighth, so it's got to come down. Down's easy, because we can do that while the truck's still here. Let's see. That one I ain't worried about. It's the up that's kind of a trick. Let me give you the skinny to why I'm raising this up. It's actually more to do with the engine than it is the actual look of the truck. I need the oil, as it's running down the block inside and it's spinning all around, to run back to the pickup area. If the truck is leaning too far forward, the oil won't run to the back and we'll have oil starvation issues, and that'll get expensive really quick. Only reason I'm raising it. If we ever want to lower the truck that far, it means we have to do some work back here. And I'd say with this big old gap, we might have some room to do some work back there. I think 4-link, 9-inch, something like that maybe one day. But until then, we'll have it a little bit taller in the front. Passenger side. We've made it to a very exciting point. We've done a garage alignment with our caster camber in tow. Our steering wheel is no longer straight, but I don't even care because that one's easy to fix. Now it's time to put it on the ground. We also took the grease gun, went around to every one of the Zerk fittings, greased them up, put a 90-degree Zerk there so the steering column wouldn't be in the way. And now, next stop, the ground. And by the way, thank you, Nick, my brother, for coming to help. Because we were in here just working, knocking it out, getting it done. And at some point, we're gonna have to open this door and that dreadful 96 degrees and 100% humidity is coming in here. So let's get it. Big milestone. There's nothing in the bed of the truck anymore. It is on the ground. The door is open. I think it's time to take this thing for a ride around the block. So let's turn it on. Fire it up. Let's see what happens. Let's do this. So we're gonna do 2 pumps because it ain't moved in a while. Put the key in the right way. Here we go. Let's go for a ride. Alright,
wasn't a lot of body roll.
No. Big sway bar. Big sway bar to wood. This will work. Ready? Are you prepared?
Yeah.
Full stop. That'll work.
Don't we lock the rears?
Yeah.
Good job, proportioning valve. Good job. You did good.
That stops so much better than it used to.
Yeah, you wouldn't have went in the ditch on the road.
It would have been twitchy. Nah, that was really good. That was really good. All right, one more. Ready? I'll take it. I'm not trying to like put it to the floor. I'm just trying to get some heat into the rotors.
Yeah. I'm just glad these are modern seat belts and they stop you at the shoulder.
Yeah, really good. Like we're not bouncing around, and this road's not smooth.
No, this road is hilly and bumpy. This road sucks in the compass.
We had a scrape there.
We had tire.
The test drive around the block, not bad. We discovered one tiny little flaw. I may have been greedy in my ride height, as in too low. Lowest point, right here. I touched a couple of things when I braked hard and then threw it into a corner, which would have brought this down. So we need to put, I don't know, another inch or so back into that, and then should have plenty of room. So we'll do that next. We'll do that tomorrow. Tonight, we're gonna go cook dinner, because even though it's back on jack stands right now, that's only so I can adjust it tomorrow and drive it again. Big progress. We'll have it off jack stands by the end of the weekend. See you tomorrow. Yesterday's drive around the neighborhood to test it out was awesome. Brakes work, suspension's working, ride's really smooth. Didn't really test the handling. Did scrape once. I got greedy in my height. And there's one little problem. I picked up a screw. So we'll adjust the coilovers, put a little bit more height in it, and then we'll take it out on the road and do some more testing. I'm really excited. We got our first official supporting affiliate link to this channel. And even though we are a tiny channel, I appreciate every one of you. If you're looking for ways to support the channel, go ahead and hit that like or subscribe. Or now you have the option to actually click the link below to this product. It has a discount code and it'll save you 10% on any purchase that you make. And they'll give me a tiny little kickback that I can use in their store, and it'll keep shoes on my feet. Let me tell you about my first affiliate link and the first company that wanted to support this channel. It's not a small company. It's literally a drive and shoe company. The name of the company is Pilolote, and they make driving shoes. What are driving shoes, you ask? Well, they are shoes specifically designed so when your feet are down here in the pedal box, you can translation, you can pivot, and you have great feel through the bottom of the shoe into your feet. And when I say driving shoes, you've seen me wear these in different videos. They are specifically set up to translate the information of the car to your feet in the best way possible. Notice every one of these shoes has a curved arch. And so when you're transitioning between the pedals, you have great feel, you have great control, and great resolution of your pedals and pedal application. Yeah. These shoes will literally make you a better driver. They might not make you run faster or jump higher, but they'll give you 10 horsepower per foot, and that's kind of a big deal. I really enjoy these shoes. I've been buying them for over 4 years, and I'm really, really stoked that a company is willing to support my tiny little channel when I'm still at the ground floor level. And if you guys want to take a look at these shoes, I'll leave a link in the description. That link will take you to a discount code that'll get you 10% off these shoes. And if you're wondering what these different shoes are, this is their Drift Smoke series. This is their Endurance series in the Le Mans 24/7 livery. These are actually probably my favorite pair of shoes. These in the Supra, same with these. Black, same shoe, just black. More clothing options. Blue Shift series. These things, so easy to take on and off, very comfortable. And in the box, we have another set of Shift series. This is what will happen if you click the link below and use the discount code. You will then exchange some monies. A box will come. A person will probably hurl it up onto your porch like a missile, but that's okay, pretty good. It's well packaged. None of the packages I've got from them have been in bad shape. They've all arrived. Their focus on their website, they actually talk about this. It's the quality of the materials they use. And I can attest, after beating up some shoes, here's the box. It's actually a really nice box. Toss that off to the side, open up, well packaged. They cared about this. That's nice to see when stuff's packaged and it just isn't thrown in a box with some wrapping on it. Like, someone actually wrapped this, made them look nice. They're individually. This is another set of their shift shoes in black with a brown bottom, which I think is really nice. Ooh, these are almost dressy. They remind me of like the old school skater Vans before Vans were kind of conversed up. But these are really nice. See what I mean about this curved arch on the heel? Really good for pedal and transitioning. Nice laces. Really excited to try these out. Now, they do come in a bunch of varieties and size, and right now, I think on their website, if you go look, they have a sale running for the Le Mans, but I don't remember if that's still going. You'll have to check and see. They come in a variety and sizes, and toss away all the pieces and parts. I'm really looking forward to wearing these. They look really nice. They're really nice materials. These are a really nice pair of shoes. I'm really excited about these. These need to go in the house. They're too nice to be out here in the garage along with the other pairs I'm not wearing. And I can get it back on to adjusting those coilovers. We'll check our alignment again. And then if yesterday's taste of goodness is any indicator of this suspension and brake package, this afternoon is gonna be a lot of fun. Let's get back to work. Let me go put these away. Because I don't want to go to the tire store on a side quest today and sit around and be told about wheel hazard and tire pressure sensor monitoring, things that this truck doesn't have. I'm gonna try and do a puncture repair kit. We're gonna pull that screw out, see if it loses air. If it needs to, we'll open this thingy up and see what goes. Never done this before, never used this kit, so I don't know. Let's check it out. Because this is kind of one of the survival pieces behind the driver's seat in the old truck. Let's see what's in it, because it might be garbage, it might be great. Pretty sure that it had instructions on it I should have kept, but it's in there. All right, we got a pair of pliers. Got some instructions that are color. Let's see. Remove. Apply lubricant. Insert reamer. Thread core through eye. Firmly push, insert, remove tool, hold sleeve. Okay, and it's even got everything labeled in here and what the different tools are. Ooh, metal handles. They look like shift handles. Good job, ARB. All right, let's see what we can do. All right, I pulled it off. Basically, take this guy, put your cord through it, ram it down in there, don't twist. And then once you get this to the stop, yank it up, and it should leave that there. So now I'll take a razor blade, cut it off, and then we'll see if it leaks. Convenient. They have a blade. This actually isn't a terrible kit. With a razor blade. Let's see. Throw that away. Any more excess I want to trim? We have a little bit. Let's see. Get some of this off of there. Not a terrible little razor blade. Not super survival-like, but does the job in a pinch. It's a good little kit. I'm gonna keep this in the truck. I got this because I didn't have a spare tire, and I wanted to have a chance to get home if I ever needed to. I know this part of the job, that one's pretty rough. But that, nice little kit. Now we play bubble hunt. All right, put some more air in the tire and then we'll look for bubbles. passenger side, like after our test drive, like all this stuff looks amazing. Nothing is mangled. The rotors, it took the coating off in like this really beautiful pattern. All the sway bar, all the end links, they look real good. We greased everything up, it's ready to work. So I'm gonna see if I can make the same adjustment that I made on the driver's side over here on the passenger side. Put the tires back on, see how we did. Hopefully the passenger tire holds there. I think it will. It's back there sitting, waiting for its turn. I'd really like to drive this thing a little bit today, even though it's really hot outside. Because look at this goodness. This can't sit in the garage. All right, let's get this adjusted, get the tires back on, check and make sure we're level, check our alignment because we've made a height adjustment. We might have to adjust our toe a little bit. We'll find out. Let's do it. I think something's already a good sign. We are mostly level. Big good sign. Now we got out the measuring tape. Still think we need the weather to do something before we go anywhere. But running out of things to check. I'm ready to go for a test drive. The weather did not cooperate at all yesterday, but today, it's nice. Let's go put some miles on this thing. It's working. Let's go around the roundabout. Thing is so smooth, it's so level around just throwing it into corners. That big old sway bar is doing its job. And the brakes, they feel fantastic, and they're not even, we haven't even heat cycled them yet. So they're only gonna get better. All right, we're gonna go put some miles on this thing. Guys, I'm impressed. We've made it all the way out and about. Been out driving around for a while. Brakes work good. The suspension ride's really good. Sway bar, doing sway bar things. Big brakes, doing big brake things. They're so good. Those brakes are so much more than the D52s. It's not even funny. Like, those were good brakes. These are great brakes. They fit in the wheel really well. I'm very excited. All right, I've got my driving shoes on. I'm gonna go put some miles on this thing. Thank you guys for watching. I know this was a long one. This was a lot of work to get all this done, but it's done now. So time to go enjoy it. We will see you guys in the next episode where we're gonna work on putting a catch can on this thing, and I'll tell you why then. See you then.